Alright, fuckers, welcome back to Road to Kim Jong-il. I'm going bald. It's a funny little title. Alright, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, or fuck off, I don't care, although I do prefer the former, never the latter. Right? Go, put me in the background, draw along with me, listen to my voice and the beautiful background music. Give me retention. And join the Viggy Pam! Viggy Pam, Jesus Christ, I fucked up my own little, my community name. Join the Viggy Fam! Yeah, every YouTuber has a cringe name for their audience, right? That's mine. Hashtag Viggy Famers. We're Wiggy? Fucking brown accent. I'm not even that brown. I'm only mildly shit skinned. But, the fuck is okay? Yeah, we're gonna Viggy Fam all over the floor. Okay, but yeah, basically the whole point of the series, again, is just to draw as much shit as I can from imagination. Right? Put my visual library to the test. As you can see, I'm failing the test miserably. But you know, it's just a fun little exercise, and this way I get to really think. And thinking is fun. But yeah, I'm just gonna get right into it. I don't know what I'm adding here. Maybe like a little pipe sort of thing. I went on my walk, and I'm like, cars have this, right? Cars definitely don't have this. But this car has this. Right? And that's all that matters, is I'm just trying to create some semblance of reality. Right? And obviously there's going to be some drawing overs because I want to add things, right? Maybe it won't make much sense. It definitely won't make much sense. But it's just hashtag quote unquote design. So even something like just adding maybe lines, right? I do also want to maybe try adding some greenery. And I definitely want to add another person. Because this is good, because like the thing is I can't draw figures clearly properly yet. These are kind of meh, right? But it does challenge me, which is the most important part, right? And again, all of this is just going to be garbaggio. But for a first attempt, it's okay. It's actually not that bad. Oh, somebody's fucking bullying me on my channel. They keep telling me that my voice is grating to their ear. Well, they didn't say it exactly like that, but they hurt my fifis. So Viggy Famers, let's attack them. Let's verbally abuse them back. You don't even know what they said, bro. They basically said your voice is stop all the yapping. That's what they said. This is harassment. It's funny when I do it because I'm actually the creator. You know, it's like, haha, what a quirky personality this cunt has. But it's not funny when the cunts, i.e. I guess Viggy Fam isn't really the name I want for my audience. The Cunterinos. It's not funny when one of you when a Cunterino responds and says, "Hey, you're not as good as you think you are," which I clearly am. Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I want to add a person lying down and maybe taking a picture with a camera. So now I need to really get the scale because this is small. These two are in the foreground. I feel as if adding a person for scale would make things a lot easier. But to do that, I would need to do some foreshortening, I'd like to think. Let's see, so this head would be a bit bigger, right? Would it? No, actually, I guess it would be relatively the same. Yeah, this is fun. Don't get me wrong, this is very fun, but also incredibly difficult. Okay, so this guy's basically leaning back, right? So his body would be like this, right? Yeah, he or she, because we do have to be gender neutral, would be leaning back. Now, what would that look like? I have a vague idea. I guess let me just capitalize on my vague idea. Okay. And They're basically holding a camera, is what I'm trying to do, so. And these are supposed to be the pads that are, what's it called? Showcased in Art Wad's little, beginner drawing. What the fuck am I saying? They're figure road, right? Like, this is how they could sort of describe it. This looks a bit retarded, but it's okay. I'm also a bit retarded, so it pans out. Okay. And now we just need the arm. That's the right hand, right? Okay, so the thumb would be here. He's holding onto a camera, and he's looking through the camera for some reason with only one one eye. He's a genius. You cannot fight the genius. Here, let's see. This is the lens. Right? Let's make his eye be like, oh my god. This would be like a little squinty eye, and he's like, he's trying to look through. This is, drawing for imagination is fun. Even when you don't even have an idea of what you're doing, I'll be honest, it's still pretty fun. Right? Because we can even make this camera lens even more intense. I know the lines are shit and it's kind of fucked, but there you go. He's holding a quote-unquote camera, which should be much thicker, to be honest. But I already fucked that up, so it's okay. I guess I can make him scratch his ass with his other hand. He's lying down. Right? And now this is where we can add a little bit of foreshortening, I guess. Right? Because look how tiny this person is in that car compared to these people, right? So what we need to do is actually make these legs smaller and like foreshorten, if that makes sense. He's a very broad fellow. Okay. And this is where things get a bit fooky. Because we need this pelvis to, let's see. Okay, I've already kind of fucked it up because I made his ass so much bigger than it should have been. But I can probably still salvage this by foreshortening the shit out of the legs, right? Probably being the operative word. Right, make this a bit smaller. I think that actually works. A little bit. A little bit. And then the fuck, oh, and then the feet would kind of be like that. They're underneath the car. Sure. Kind of works, kind of doesn't, right? But this is the thing. We're trying to figure out perspective in a scene more than anything, right? So it kind of works, I think. Just a little bit. But hey, we're creating a story, which is cool. But anyways, let me rest my brain. But what is really the issue here? It kind of really doesn't work because all of this should have been foreshortened. Like starting from the bottom of the torso, I believe, should have been foreshortened. But I only foreshortened the legs, right? So actually, if these were all sort of tapering inwards and getting slowly smaller and smaller, it would actually make a lot more sense. But now this kind of just looks awkward, right? But either way, what else did I want to draw? I was thinking of drawing some shrubbery and trees. And well, let me think. I did say I wanted to add a road to this guy. To here. So maybe what can be done is if I can add a road here. But maybe it's like a sort of off-beaten mountain road, right? And it's obviously going I'm adding these breaks, I guess, to indicate a lane, right? A ragged lane, but again, it's not as if I know what's going on, really. And maybe that's the perspective, right? Right, so he's driving past, and he's like, "Nani?" Because he sees a random chest of treasure just chilling here. It's like, what the fuck? Everybody's so confused. Like, why is this random chest of treasure? Say that 3 times fast. Chest of treasure. Very, very difficult. Also very unnecessary. Nobody's really gonna have to say it 3 times fast. Some good tea. That's some good tea. Okay. Oh, also I was looking at some cars on my walk today, and they have an indent like this, which you can actually put your hand in. And obviously I forgot the side mirrors. So what do they look like? They're sort of like that, right? Yeah, that's the side mirror. On this side you would see maybe just that much, right? Cool. Something like that. I know this is all over the place and very hectic. I'm very well aware. If I want to indicate that this is a sort of dirt road, then what could be used to indicate dirt? It's like little clumps like this. Oh, some good shit. Again, this is all very new to me. How do you indicate clumps of dirt? There you go. I think they need to have more purpose, right? Like doing little squiggles like this doesn't mean much, but if I can think about the form, that's the main thing, right? I have to think about the form. I mean, why would it be any different versus what I've been what I have been doing, which is thinking about form. See, there you go. That looks more like a quote-unquote clumpy dirt road sort of thing. Right, maybe I can even add some grass. But I wanted to draw a tree as well. No, I don't want to over detail anything yet. I actually want to keep, obviously the whole point is to add things in terms of like my spatial reasoning, right? So that's obviously the point. I guess it tapers out. But something here I feel as if, because I almost feel as if there would be a sort of divide in terms of crust, right? This needs to be almost elevated a little, right? And I think obviously I can make it a bit rough. Again, the whole thing I'm trying to really focus on is that this exists in real life, right? This is something, this is a universe, or not exists in real life, but this is a universe that is real. And because it is real, we must simply add, I guess, enough detail that makes it feel real. But I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, clearly. I'm just trying to figure things out. And maybe, again, not about being perfect, but just sort of getting across different environments. I'm trying to think as well, what else could I draw? What else could I test my visual library on? Well, this guy is obviously shooting something, right? He's like with this camera. So what do photographers have? Photographers usually have that fucking extremely metrosexual looking bag, which is just another way of saying queer. But I'm sure somebody will correct me and be like, it's actually not queer. It is, I don't know. What's another word? Right? NB? As in like NBA? It's a basketball bag, perhaps? What a shit joke. Okay, so this piece of shit probably has a bag somewhere. I already fucked up the perspective of the skateboard. So let's, what does a bag look like? We could do something like, okay, well now I actually really have to think about the perspective here. This is the ground plane, and maybe he has different types of lenses that he has. Right. So there's one type of lens that he keeps. And then let's just say, I don't know, what the fuck, what else do photographers have in their bags? Right, maybe he has a Starbucks can. This is fucking pretentious piece of shit. Right, maybe he just has a... Right, he just fucking finished his drink and decided that he's gonna litter this piece of garbage. Look at him, it's leaking everywhere. He's created a fucking puddle. What a piece of shit. Absolute garbage human being. There. If I add a rim, it looks more legit. And let's add a giant Starbucks sign. To be honest, if anybody has the right to do this, it's me. I'm Hindu, after all. What I'm saying is, although he's a piece of shit, he also promotes love and peace. Because that's what this symbol fucking means before it was bastardized. God damn it. Even my friends don't seem to understand that. It means love and peace. Gintama. You know, Baka Oji. He is also honestly has the right to use this symbol to promote his spread of love and peace, of course. But I already fucked it up too, so I'm already bastardizing my culture. But yeah, I'm Hindu. Yeah, I remember my friends were very shocked, or at least my friend's girlfriend is German, right? And she came over from Germany. They lived together, all about all that lovey-dovey, blah blah blah. But they came over to my house when I moved to this house, my family, and we have a temple area, and my mom obviously uses like a powder called kolam. It doesn't matter, but whatever. She uses like a powder to obviously do put the swastika before you put the plate on. It's a religious symbol, and then it's like everywhere. It's literally everywhere, all over the fucking temple. And she looked at, she comes and she's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Oh yes, before your people bastardized this symbol, it's meant to promote love and peace, right?" Maybe hatred is there because there's history always has hatred, but my interpretation is love and peace. But anyways, oh fuck, this guy doesn't have a left arm. Completely forgot this piece of shit needed an extra appendage. But he was gonna scratch his ass. But I guess for the time being, we'll just have it like this, right? Maybe he is. Maybe, maybe he's trying to reach for this guy's foot, and that's why he moved his leg and twisted his ankle. Yeah, sorry, this girl's foot because she has female features like thicker lips and eyelashes, something only the female gender is capable of producing. But yeah, he's trying to reach for her leg, like that one over there, and she's obviously extremely unnerved. So she's like, "Excuse me, get the fuck away from me!" And thus she moved her leg. See, he's really reaching. He's like, "Give me that fucking leg, you bitch." And she's like, "I'm reporting you." So, yeah. And that thumb joint is fucking huge. Jesus Christ. Okay, let me rest my brain again. This is actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's turning into something. So, it's not bad. I never thought I would be able to do this. So, it's something, right? And I think having people or mannequins or whatever really adds to the story and the liveliness of it. So it's pretty cool. I mean, for a first attempt, I'm not complaining. This is actually really fun to do because it definitely does test my knowledge. But obviously, I need to draw more things, right? We can't just be adding useless detail. We need to be creating something, right? Although, speaking of useless detail, I guess I could add shadows to this car because technically all of this would be in shadow, right? Right? Yeah, like everything underneath this car would be in shadow, even parts of this leg, actually. Well, that adds a nice little bit of, I guess, depth to the drawing. Depth. I'm an immigrant, so I purposefully mispronounce things to perpetuate the immigrant status. See, I don't know if that's accurate, but it's something. Oh, but yeah, let me. There you go. See? His leg is also in shadow. But, okay, so let's get this bag going. And coming out of the bags are giant dildos. Because this man has a very specific interest in which he photographs. and he won't let his interest be sullied. Understand me? Now let's have one topple down here as well. Get a little bit of that oomph. But yeah, it's quite impressive how he's managed to keep this secret for so long. But at the same time, it would be best for him to perhaps go to an online website and sell his services, because it's difficult to do it out in public. So what else do bags have? Bags have straps, right? And this can just be drapery. Right, this can just be drapery. Something like that. And they have pockets as well, so we can just add a little pocket here. It's kind of like a flimsy bag, right? Maybe we'll see another ball sack right around here. And then the rest can just be covered up. There you go. This guy has a bag now. Very nice, very nice. In which he put about, at the minimum, 4 dildos, a Starbucks, and some lens, camera lens. Is there other attachments to the camera lens? Maybe there's, what is there, like a fucking... Maybe there's another big ass one, right? No, because he's also a bird watcher. Something like that. Right. And he watches them from very far. There you go. Yeah, honestly, he should keep all this shit in the bag, because that man, if he looked just a little bit to the left, or like left and behind him, he would see many a dildos, and I don't think he'd be as amused as I am. Okay. So what else? What else can we do? Well, let me maybe add more shadow here. It feels as if this would also be in shadow, right? Maybe. Cool. Perhaps I should add some more in between. Like so. Might be overdoing it. Definitely overdoing it, but it's too late. I've committed. Let's ruin it. Okay, whatever. Shadow. Cool. What else can I draw? Well, who knows? Who knows what else I can draw? Well, I wanted to draw trees, right? Damn, it's only been half an hour. By the time fucking I'm might run out of space to draw shit. Jesus. But let's see. Maybe this. I feel as if this plane is completely fucked in terms of its placement and foreshortening. But I'm trying to figure something out. I'm trying to think. What the fuck else can I draw? What do I even know how to draw? I've done figures. I've done a car. I can technically draw a bike, but I don't know if there's space for a bike. Maybe I could draw someone on a bike over in the back. Right? And they have their little kickstand out. And it's just some dude. Because, you know, safety first. In a helmet. Also being like, what the fuck? Is that treasure? He just decided to pull over. And he found treasure. But of course, he has to contend with many individuals. Let's see. Something like that. Right. And then the legs come out here. And the foot is like so. Right, but he's just like, he's just honestly confused more than anything. He's like, what the fuck have I chanced upon? Actually, let's make it a she. There you go. Because only a woman can have long hair. It's a fact. I've seen it myself. My sister has long hair, therefore, I am correct. There you go. This guy's just like, what the fuck? That's actually pretty cute. He's like, what? Is that treasure? I think that adds a good amount of foreshortening to what's going on, right? We can even give a little bit of depth to the area he's standing on, right? What else? What else? I mean, I guess I did draw the bike back there. I wish I could have fit it in elsewhere. What are some small things that I know how to draw? Well, it's definitely not my penis, I'll tell you that. Let's see. I don't want to render. I need to stop rendering like this shadow shit. We need to think about items. This is actually, I never thought it'd be, actually, I kind of did expect to be stumped when it came to actually trying to figure out what to draw. What else? Fuck it, let's just draw a tree. I've drawn a tree before, right? Maybe we can, because this is like a dirt road, maybe we can start adding rocks as well. And rocks have very graphic shapes. Oh, there it is. This person is actually resting their foot on this rock. There you go. I don't know what I'm doing with these shapes, but I do know that rocks have graphic shapes, and just with that piece of information, I can do absolutely nothing but create a fake-looking rock. Well, we do need a little bit of grass too, so let's add... Grass is also kind of like... Well, let's not fuck up the perspective. The grass should be like this, right? Facing upwards. I mean... Make the rendering a bit lighter over here. Funny, I was like, I don't want to render, and then I ended up rendering. I ended up rendering. Well, the rocks are pretty fun to draw, even if this doesn't really look like a rock anymore. Make it a bit darker on the bottom, because, you know, shadows, right? There you go. And maybe there can be... I do want to draw a tree. Maybe it can be a very graphically represented tree. Again, I don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I'm hoping that I could just take my time, get the form of this down, right? And obviously, this tree, I guess, has to be a bit bigger. So... let's see. Right. And maybe the trunk can be... maybe to indicate size. It doesn't have to be that big. Right? It's hard to indicate scale, obviously, but... and then again, the roots are supposed to be sort of digging inwards to the ground, so... and again, this is a thing where my scale gets a bit fucked. But... just trying to figure it out. Right, just trying to figure it out. Okay, so for this tree, we can obviously add a bunch of these little, maybe shadow spots, right? Maybe all of this can be in shadow. Because this is the back of the tree. I don't know. There you go. But it's something, to be honest. Again, I'm actually very... I'm pretty like, I'm just having fun, honestly. That's what I'm doing, and I think that's why things are starting to look just kind of like there's a story behind it, right? Is there? I'm probably just bullshitting myself. But I think it's clear now that drawing from imagination is a completely different skill set. Even though I technically do draw from imagination all the time, right? Technically, I'm drawing from imagination all the time because I'm practicing via my mind when it comes to rotating shapes. But actually putting it, like, drawing simple shapes from imagination is completely different than drawing actual things, right? Because I haven't gotten to the point where I can draw actual things. But just because I can do simple shapes, look, I can do something like this, which is pretty cool, in my opinion. Pretty fucking cool, right? I guess I can draw some grass, because my ass is grass. This is like a desert area of sorts, I guess I've started to make. So I don't know what the fuck any of these people are doing here. The story makes no sense. There's some piece of shit checking her mail. I almost called him a him because I'm a sexist. But some piece of shit checking her mail, balancing her leg on a rock that really doesn't look like it's a rock or balanced, right? Hold on, let me maybe add shadows to this rock. There you go. But yeah, some piece of shit balancing her fucking left bent up fuck knee on her and foot on a rock. Dickhead taking a picture, right? And again, like this treasure chest also just really doesn't look much like a treasure chest, but it's just funny, you know. What else? None of this entire scenario doesn't make sense. Like, where did these people come from? What is this road? Why is this dickhead back here? Why is the plane crashing? None of it makes sense. Maybe the plane's gonna crash into the tree. That'd be really sad. A little bit of form indication. So how do you make it look like roots are digging? Because you want it to look like they're kind of in the ground, right? How do you indicate that? Who knows? I'm just gonna indicate form because I know how to do that. There you go. Oh, my family's yelling about something. Hope that can't be heard. It'd be nice if that couldn't be heard. Hashtag everybody has anger issues. Or, you know, they could literally just be having a nice conversation, but very animated. You could never tell with my family. That's why I became the calm one. That's my trauma. This tree needs a stronger silhouette. That's what it's missing. Do I know what that word means? Silhouette, yes, but do I know how to apply it? Who knows? Who fucking knows? Right. Maybe we can just have some dark spots here to indicate really black shadows. Right? I think if anything, this should definitely have that. There you go. Looking more and more like a tree every day. Cool. That's something. Like perspective-wise, I don't even think that tree makes much sense. But it is something. Okay, it's been 42 minutes now. I love how I thought I had so much time, and now I feel as if I can add more stuff, and suddenly there's no time. But whatever it ends up being today, I'm gonna leave it at that, because I do want to try something else afterwards, right, for the other part of the page. So even this can have form, can it not? Maybe we can indicate some more form for this chest. Right. God, it's so hard to draw from this angle. Does that really make sense? Nope. So let's just turn it all black. Yeah, definitely do not come to me to get lessons on how to draw from imagination. Maybe in 30 years, they'll be able to give you sound tips. But this is very difficult. This is actually extremely difficult, which is why I'm doing it. But let me rest my brain. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna send this to Broken Draw after to be like, hey bro, give me compliments! Right? Just, he'll probably fucking tear it apart and be like, this is garbage. But that's what you need sometimes. That's what you need. Okay, let's add some obviously some depth, I guess, to the well, I want to add more grass, so we could, okay, what can I add here? I don't know what I can add here, but this is probably still in shadow, right? Right. And what else? You know, I'm actually very surprised that I've even managed to do something like this. It's honestly very exciting. But yeah, the tree definitely could be more tree-like, which is something I'm working on. Maybe we can just have some petals, some leaves falling, right? Perspective of the tree definitely isn't the best at all. But again, it might just be because the shapes themselves are not the best at all, right? Something. I might be just be overworking it. I don't really know what I'm doing here. It might honestly be best to just contrast the fuck out of these areas, right? Yeah, the tree doesn't really look like a tree, I don't think. But it's okay, we'll leave it, right? This is just what I apparently think a tree looks like in my mind right now, and we can always improve that as time goes on. Well, let's see, what else can we do? Well, for one, we can give these dicks a little bit of that form indication, right? Yeah. No. Nobody ever bought a dick that wasn't 3D. And these balls especially need to have some sort of three-dimensionality. Right, same with this bag. Right, just indicate a bit of form here. This chair as well. Just do. A very powerful tool when it comes to the contours. Because you're literally just filling in part of the contour, right? Same thing here, I could just do something like this. And the lines are a bit wonky, but there you go, something like that, right? Did it make it worse? Maybe, but... And I want to add more grass, obviously. Right, because now this is grassy terrain. And I would have liked to add one more thing. I'm just not too sure what. Well, we can add more rocks, that's for sure. We can add more fucking... giant ass rocks. Right. Again, do I know what a rock looks like? No. But do I have a relative abstraction of a rock in my mind? Perhaps. Right. And to indicate weight, I've seen artists do this where they just add sort of the environment around where objects are placed, right? So for example here, We can add grass around this bag to indicate that it does exist on this plane. Same with grass around this piece of shit's elbow, right around his hand here as well, right around this foot. You know, if we just ignore these lines, because I clearly didn't think ahead when it comes to that, even grass around here, right? It's just sort of to showcase that the environment does exist. And we're just obviously seeing only parts of the environment that I want you to see, right? But now this sort of makes it seem much more legit, I would like to believe, right? Where it's like, oh, okay, like all of these people are on a plane. You know, they exist on a plane, which is my understanding, right? None of this is great by any means, but it's fun. I'm actually having a lot of fun. This is turning out to be pretty okay. So that means maybe I can draw after all. Obviously, grass that's up here is much bigger because this is the closest area to the camera, right? So we need to make sure that this, and as you can see, drawing these quick lines with my pen, with this specific brush pen, is actually very difficult, right? And that's another skill that one has to get used to. And this is just my abstraction. Everything's an abstraction, right? So we just have to abstract. Can't believe I forgot to fucking add the back part of this, Jesus. But we just have to abstract. And I think to show again that this is on, you need to show sort of the grass bending around it, right? So bending around this foot, like look, they're literally on it, you know? I think that's also important, right? Show grass bending, because clearly it's being flattened, right? It's being flattened by this rock. And again, this rock shadow should probably be something like it's like a broken shadow, right? Something like that. Again, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Very clearly, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But if I don't know what I'm doing enough consistently, then we can actually create something cohesive, right? That's the beauty of it all. Don't know what you're doing, just continue not knowing what you're doing, but do it so much that it seems like you know what you're doing. So again, if I just add a shit ton of line weight right here, and there you go. This rock is being continued now, right? And I'm imagining this. Obviously, I'm doing my best to imagine all of this. Okay, it's been 50 minutes. Cool, let me rest my brain again. And I'll finish the rock, maybe add a bit more grass, try to make things look a bit more cohesive, right? I guess this is just a plane, so maybe I can add some more bushes around here, some bushes back there, right? This plane makes no sense, actually. This plane literally makes no sense. Because it's in front of that tree, but it's small. Yeah, the perspective is not the fucking best. But overall, you know, for a first attempt, again, not bad. So let me just rest my brain. Oh yes, I also encourage those of you still listening / watching to, if you are watching and you find my extremely slow drawing to be painful, put me on 2x speed. I'll still get the retention. It's all good. I forgive you. You know, I'm not gonna judge you, right? I will dislike you, but I won't judge you. So yeah, don't worry. Put me on that 2x speed, right? It doesn't make a difference in my life, apart from being really sad, of course. But you know, Sadness is a state of mind. If I just start adding shadows to all of these, maybe it'll look more three-dimensional. We don't know until we find out, right? Same with this. Again, I don't even know if the shadow's in the right place, because I have no idea what Terminator and this and that and all that bullshit means yet. I actually took a Domestica Sori Kim lesson, and that's the gripe I have. She's an amazing artist, but she should not have marketed her content as for beginners, because the things she's teaching is not beginner level. She's already assuming you have a really solid understanding of perspective and line and quality lines on top of that. Like, that shit is not beginner. It's probably advanced beginner. But even then, I'm a quote unquote advanced beginner, and there's a lot of things I don't understand. So, yeah, artists really need to. And Antonio has a great article on this on ArtWad. It's a really, really good article where he talks about how a lot of artists don't know how to teach. No, they really don't know how to teach. And it's not their fault. It's through fucking years of intuition that they've built the ability to create a magnificent art, right? But they've also forgotten what it's like to be a beginner. No, that's why I always stress, even though I don't remember how exactly I did some things that I did, I always stress this is extremely difficult, because it is. Because again, like, honestly, it is, right? Like, this shit is really, really hard. So we have to be honest with ourselves, and I need to be honest with whatever audience that I have, in that it is extremely difficult. Just know that I'm really struggling, right? In the beginning, like, now it's starting to be more cohesive, so it's not as difficult because things actually starting to make a bit more sense, right? But yeah, like, this shit is still very hard. What the fuck is this? What is this thing? Oh, that's the fucking wheel of the skateboard. I was so confused. I'm like, what the hell? Did I give the bag a weird ass attachment? So confused. Let's just make the balls a bit more outlined. But okay, it's almost been an hour. I need to finish up with the grass. This actually ended up being quite an interesting scenery, I'm not gonna lie. This is how it begins, right? I guess this is how drawing from imagination begins. What else can I add here? Maybe I can add a wood log. That's just sort of... And then maybe it can also be a bit bent. Right? It can be like a really big log. Yeah, something like this. Right? Some sort of overgrowth. Although I think that's off perspective now. No, it doesn't have to be off perspective if I just do this. Right? Maybe this isn't really wood-like. Well, the idea was there, but I guess the execution should have been a bit better. Right, because this doesn't really look like wood. It looks like something, but not wood. Because wood has patterns, so maybe I can still salvage it. Right, because wood does have patterns. Actually, we can add form indication to this as well. I'm very well aware that what I'm doing right now is just like hyper detail everywhere. There's probably not a lot of space to breathe. This is actually a huge issue of mine. I think a lot of beginners have trouble with this. It's just that we want to fill everything with everything, right? Which is probably not the best way to go about it. Let me just add some shadow here. Yeah, definitely not the best way to go about it. Actually, if I were to give this guy a shadow, it'd probably be something like this, right? Like, I'm aware I'm creating all this detail, but at the same time, I'm just trying to figure out how I can make it seem relatively cohesive. Because, I mean, it's fun, I'm not gonna lie, it's very fun. I've always loved adding detail. So, not having to add detail is a bit hard. I know Peter Hahn said he struggles with this. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm Peter Hahn because I'm better, but I know he said he struggled with something like this as well. That doesn't make any sense, actually, where I put this shadow. Because this one's coming back, so maybe this one should have been more back as well. And maybe we have the chair shadow here. Is that true? Nobody knows. Especially me. I don't know. But what else? I know I like completely fucking skipped all over the place. But I will finish that log looking thing. Yeah, this video is gonna go on for a bit longer. Hopefully my camera doesn't run out of battery or sorry, storage. Right? Because each of these videos take around 12 gigs, 10 to 12 gigs, right? Form indication, just got a cheat form indication. This should have been like that. There you go. That's more three-dimensional, like that. And then I didn't even add the back thing for this. Did I? Did I fuck it up? No, I didn't fuck it up. I just forgot to add it. Well, that's the thing. That's perspective here is actually completely off now. I just realized. But we'll just ignore it. We'll just ignore it. Right. Basic perspective issues is the name of the game. Pretending like they don't exist is how I got fame. But I'm not a rapper. Okay. Cool. Yay, more form indication. Woo, woo. Fuck with the lines. Ta-da. There you go. Can even... Wow, that looks really bad. Maybe I shouldn't be doing such fast lines. But I am practicing, so it doesn't matter. And let's just outline this a bit more. If this is on the ground, this should obviously be highlighted or like have heavier line weight, right? Because that's how you indicate line weight, or weight, I assume, is by having thicker lines, I believe. So let's add some shadow around this dickhead's foot. I don't know how the shadow for this is gonna work. We're just gonna pretend like they don't have a shadow. Same with this dickhead. Let's just give him some shadow. How much time has elapsed? Oh, it's been an hour and 4 minutes. I think I'm gonna max it out at 1 hour 15. Whatever I end up drawing is what I end up drawing. I'm just gonna finish that log. Something like that. Is that accurate? Nobody knows. But it's graphically nice, I guess, right? Graphically pleasing. You know, now I can just add some thicker line weight over here. Right? Make it read a bit better. And there you go. This piece of shit's on the fucking... He's on the come up, as they say. Eh. I mean, that's pretty cool. It's something, right? I don't know what it is, but it's something. Add some bigger grass here, and also here, right? I'm still trying to make it quote-unquote readable, breathable, whatever. But again, like this rock is kind of completely lost in translation now. But it's okay, because that's what happens sometimes, right? So, it's what it is. Not gonna be too upset about it or anything. I'm the one who decided to put a fucking rock in the back of a chair. So, there's that. Let me rest my brain. I'm gonna finish this wood-looking log thing. And that'll be it, right? That'll be it. And that would have been very fun. So let me just rest my brain. Wait. There you go. Now let me rest my brain. All right, cool. Wunderbar. Yeah, that was a bit too much off to the right. I mean, I think the car is really what makes everything go together, to be honest, more than anything. Because it's like an actual thing that looks like a thing, if that makes sense. And we could let the car, you know what? We'll let the car breathe. We'll just add a nice little texture here. Right. Literally just a pattern. I know it's kind of like a brick-like pattern, but there you go. Something, right? Makes the car look like it has detailing or whatever. Let's figure out this tree abomination I've made. I think trees have something like this, where it's kind of squiggly, right? And we can actually lessen the detail as we go onwards, because it's usually lost on the eye, right? You know, if we try to think about it in terms of how vision works, it'd be the most detail at the front, and then less detail at the back. And we can even add, again, shadows, which also grass, right? And what else? Line weight being the most important thing. We can have this, and I'm very well aware that a lot of things are clashing with other things, where like this is going to take the eye away from certain things, but I'm not skilled enough, and I don't have the eye to really understand how to balance it. So I'm just trying to do my best. The only good thing is like I have the language to be able to describe it right now, but not the skill, of course. Right? I don't have the skill right now. Let's just add some shadow here. There you go. Right, let's add some more shadow here so it doesn't clash with the mailbox in front of it. Right, and we can actually continue that. down here. Something like that. I don't know what this is. This is not a tree trunk. But it's something. Could even sort of just fill these gaps in with thicker brushes, I think. Maybe this looks more like wood now. Maybe not, maybe it does. I know it's messy. I know it's Ronaldo. It's fucking baited. But it is my football. Yeah, like this really doesn't make sense. And I'm okay with it. Because I decided to try something. I failed miserably. And now I'm gonna never try it again. I've learned my lesson. That's called growth. Okay, let's just leave that thing in the back. As it is. Way. It's just like, it completely clashes with everything, I'm well aware. But again, this is how we learn, right? So, cool. It's what it is. You know, so it's fine. Obviously, lots of over rendering and detailing going on, but I'm done. This was my first attempt at drawing from imagination, like a scenery. So cool. That's pretty cool. I mean, I had fun. I had fucking a lot of fun, and I think I learned a lot. And I did try my best to visualize these things. You know, like I definitely visualized a lot of this. I definitely visualized a lot of this. Right, even the rock, the tree. Roughly, I visualized that. You know. I know I kind of went off with the rendering a bit too much, but yeah, all right, cool, fun shit. Very difficult, by the way, right? Obviously, the outcome is pretty shit, but I think I learned a lot. And I know there's a lot of unfinished shit. I guess maybe I could just add a little bit of grass, right, to showcase that this is also like a little plains area, right? Maybe we can just have areas of, I don't know, like really long weeds or some shit, right? Pockets of fucking tall grass. Probably fucked it up a little. But yeah, I think it's fine. Cool, whatever. It's not amazing. This is just my tendency to want to fill the blank space, clearly. But okay, last overworking thing. Ta-da! Just clear up that line. Okay, cool, whatever. Well, on that note, thank you all for watching. I mean, no, fuck, don't thank the audience. That's not my thing. I'm the anti-YouTuber, right? But no, really fun, really difficult, right? I honestly feel as if maybe these should just be pitch black to really indicate shadow. You know what, maybe that's the last thing I'm gonna overwork and completely fuck up. Right, it's just, let's make this a blackety black shadow. Because I want to. No other reason than that. I just want to. I want to see how it would look in terms of contrast, right? If it makes it worse, it makes it worse, so be it. But I'm just curious. I don't even know. I don't even think it made a difference. But whatever. Obviously, actually, the back of the car still exists, so we should probably add some shadows right there, right? Right, something like that. Okay, whatever. But either way, cool. Maybe that makes sense, maybe that doesn't. Makes sense? Maybe that makes sense, maybe that doesn't. But okay, anyways, yeah. Fun, fucking really fun, right? And I'm obviously have the back of the page tomorrow, right? It's gonna be a bit cluttered, but you know, I don't like wasting paper, but it's fine. So yeah. Um really fun. I encourage everybody to try this. It's fucking difficult. Just throw your ego aside, right? It will be shit. Like, this is shit. Objectively, this is shit. But I learned a lot, and I definitely learned that I can visualize more than I thought. And now we just got to keep going and try other things, right? And language is powerful for me to describe what I'm trying to do, so maybe it'll help you guys as well. But with that being said, as always, fuck you for watching. Oh wait, no, fuck, I have to beg for likes and subscribes. Yeah, like, subscribe, or don't fuck off. I don't give a shit, except keep me on the background and watch my videos, or like draw along with me or whatever, like, you know, Biggie fam. But yeah, as always, fuck you for watching, keep drawing, and please give me money.